what you have. Oh my god, this tip is awful. Hey there my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's video is going to be a minimalism hack. Buy less by wanting less. So without further ado, let's just get to the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! So today I'm just going to be giving you guys 5 actionable ways to practice buying less. I have made videos on how to address the issue of even wanting or desiring less, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to strictly just don't buy less, whether or not you want to buy more. Okay, so number 1, love what you have. I don't know how else to, maybe that's not very actionable, but when you love what you have, oh my god, this tip is awful, but this is a very useful tip. I really felt less inclined to buy something or buy something, a duplicate of something, because I felt like what I already had was really good. I felt this item, is it as good as what I already have? No, not really. And the reason that I was able to love what I had was because I didn't have a lot of it. I just had like the one, and it's so much easier to love one thing than it is to love multiple things. My love gets split up among these things. So I felt like the one item that I had, I think about all the memories we had together and how awesome it's been there to support me and do what it needs to do to just make my life a whole lot better. I just felt like, yeah, that item, I don't buy into the idea that something new is better than something time tested and true. Number 2, less scrolling on Instagram and YouTube. In the beginning of my minimalism journey, I saw that a lot of minimalists advocated for not doing this. They said things that Instagram and YouTube are pretty much just one long commercial, and I was like, ah. I laughed at them. I was like, screw that, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. So I went and scrolled on YouTube and Instagram, and since I don't have TV, let me tell you, YouTube and Instagram definitely drove a lot of my purchasing decisions, whether or not I was conscious of it. And once I became aware of it, I was like, whoa, it's actually a thing. And that was heartbreaking for me because I love social media. So what I have done is I have adjusted how I use social media, and I've also become very aware of how I use social media and how it influences me. So I'm not here to tell anybody, you know what, don't use social media, because I'd be a hypocrite. I still use social media, but what I do now is instead is I scroll less on it, and I also kind of moderate the type of content that I follow. I stopped watching beauty bloggers, I stopped watching fashion bloggers, I stopped watching minimalism aesthetic videos, because I would see what they had and I was like, wow, I want that. I want more beige, cream, white colored things in my life, and I don't need it. I'm a minimalist. What am I buying these things for? Just be aware of how you use your social media. Be aware. You don't have to not use it, but that it could be influencing your shopping purchases. Number 3, more stuff won't make you happier. I know, I hate this one. Everyone always talks about this. There's even that song by Drake that's people who say that is because they can't buy what they want, and maybe it's true. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that shopping isn't fun. Shopping is fun, but at the core of it, buying new things won't give you lasting happiness, won't give you long-term happiness. And on a more practical level, shopping as a source of happiness comes at a very heavy cost. You have to go out and work and make that money, and unless PR gave it to you for free, you had to pay and buy the things that you have. The cost is your blood, sweat, and lifespan that you live. So it's not that shopping doesn't make you happy, but it's just kind of addressing what's the long-term cost and realizing that if what you're seeking is being happy, well, surprise, there's free ways to be happy. So if we're just trying to be happy, why don't we just pick the free way, because both make us happy anyway. All right, number 4, lower your baseline. This one kind of ties in with the first point about happiness, but if you guys have ever heard the hedonic treadmill, where it's you do something for pleasure to make yourself happy, but then it stops working because you become desensitized. You need a harder hit of pleasure and another one, and then you need harder and harder hits. The same hack works in the opposite direction. You can lower your baseline to get the same level of happiness. Yeah, I know, it's kind of cool and a cheap, frugal way to achieve happiness for a bargain price. So you just go in the opposite direction. You make yourself happy by subtracting things. Of course, don't take it into extreme and have decluttering obsession. That's something that has helped me with buying less. Instead of thinking, I want to buy more so I can be happier, I decided I'm going to buy less, and that's going to make me happier. I win both ways. And the final one, number 5, create more, consume less. If you guys follow Mr. Money Stash, he has a really good way of explaining this, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'll just tell you guys what he said. Would you rather be the fan at the concert, or would you rather be the rock star producing the music? That is a very wonderful way of explaining pretty much this idea that as fun as it is to be a consumer, it's even more fun to be the producer. How can we apply this on a more practical level? Because I don't think we all want to be rock stars. Anything that you do that creates something is going to give you fulfillment. So just think, like, what do you like to do that is creating something? Painting, helping somebody else out, doing renos. Well, I guess that costs money, but Mr. Money Stash did it for free, so I don't know, go find him if that's something that interests you. Creating content for your Instagram, creating content for your YouTube channel. And even in the realm of creating, there's also, it's just the act of doing that makes us happy. So you don't have to create necessarily, you can also just do. So you could do exercise, you could do sports, you can play the piano. Anything that just involves doing something is what generates that feeling of happiness. That's why there's that expression, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey. Because in the end, the thing that we liked the most was the process and the action of doing that we like. I guess if you guys ever watched The Tech Lead, he said that one of the sources of happiness is actually in playing rather than in consumption. For example, a puppy, if given the choice between picking a ball or eating more food, a puppy will always pick the ball unless it is absolutely starving. But that's besides the point, that sometimes we will ignore hunger to be able to play because we seek dopamine and we seek happiness. So what I'm trying to say is shopping is also doing something, but it's also in the realm of being a consumption. So if we're trying to buy less, we can hack that by just figuring out something that we can do that isn't a consumption habit, but it's doing something. So anyway, that is my video, a minimalism hack to help you buy less without maybe addressing the issue of just not wanting to buy less, but that's for another day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.